currently operated by MOTAT.
Yeah.
Is that MOTAT?
It's a MOTAT train.
It's a MOTAT. It's a new MOTAT.
How does it feel?
Sorry?
How does it feel?
You can pay by EFTPOS if you like.
The other MOTATs will
The two of you?
that one.
And then some of their trams are just here.
I can't see.
Just borrowing some trams.
I think they don't like to get on the tram. They don't like to get on the tram.
Recognise somebody or either of them. So she must have thought those two don't want to sleep on here, and then she said, we'll be putting the tram away soon.
Hi.
That was all right.
Yes. It's $2 for an adult, $1 for a child. Just the two of you, man? Three. Yeah. Alright, so on the left hand side, if you've ever looked at Auckland harbour bridge lights, you would know that the power for those harbour bridge lights comes from this building on the left hand side. Also on the left hand side we have the steel gantry. It's a wonderful place to climb to the top and have a look at the views of the Auckland harbour. I'm originally from South Africa, and every now and then I slip up and tell people they can see the Durban harbour. It's probably the wrong harbour. We're now going down Jellicoe Street, which happens to be the Wynyard Quarters restaurant mecca. So on the left and right there are wonderful places to go and have food. A very nice place. Further forward on the left is Gelatiamo, and they make the most delicious ice creams. On the left over here, the Wynyard Pavilion is the home of the only remaining North Wharf shed from back in 1926. So the structure on the left here is the only original shed. I mean, beautifully restored, but still original. It's the only piece that's left behind. They used to store wool and linens in there for export. On the right hand side, the ASB building. This building has been designed to be a 5-star green rating, so it makes use of lots of natural lighting, etc. Forward to the left is the America's Cup Village, and also the Torero Bridge that joins us to the rest of Auckland City and the rest of the island. Tram stop number 1. I do.
You do?
Yeah. $2. $2.
$2?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, mind the step. Sorry, sir.
Not the only one that's around it.
Yeah.
$2 each. Two of you? Goes on the left, yeah. Round,
I can have some
all day.
lunch here.
Very good place to get a break.
Oh, you go.
City and see where it goes.
Yeah, thank you.
My wallet.
What's your wallet?
Hi. It's $2. For those of you who just joined us, welcome to Panuka Development's Dockline Tramway, operated by MOTAT. Please remember your tickets are all-day tickets, which means you can hop on, hop off as many times as you like. So if you see anything interesting, just ring the bell, we'll stop at the next zone, and you can hop off, and then when you finish there, you can just hop on as we come around the loop again. So on the left we have the Park Hyatt Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel, and if you go inside in the foyer entrance area you'll find a beautifully crafted waka. On the right hand side the ASB Waterfront Theatre. Not much of a waterfront though anymore, it's more of an ASB Hotel Front Theatre. We're now going down Wolsey Street. Wolsey Street. Wolsey Street is named after Admiral Wolsey, who used to captain the HMS New Zealand. His claim to fame was the fact that he never lost a single one of his sailors. As with any vehicle that operates on a public road, we obey all road signs, and therefore if we are coming towards you but you have right of way, do not worry, we will stop and you shall be able to pass. The whole concept of this tramway once in 2011 when it was built was not only to tell people about the area but also a way to move people from this end of the Wynyard Quarter to the other end of the Wynyard Quarter quickly, thus reducing traffic within the Wynyard Quarter itself. This tramway started its journey in 2011, operated for a brief period of time before it was shut down as this part of the track was lifted, where roadworks started taking place. The original operators of the tramway could not maintain the tramway while it was shut down, so they sold it back to the Auckland Council. Probably the first time in history a council's bought a tramway twice. This traffic signal here never seems to let me get through fast enough. Tram stop number 2.
Right out of the water. And the big concrete silos on the left, well they're the last remains of the industrial part of that dominated this part of the Auckland waterfront. They were cement silos, and they're retained to add some character to the area. And just between the silos you can see the Auckland Harbour Bridge, opened in 1959. The Harbour Bridge really saw the growth and development of the North Shore of Auckland. Before the bridge came along, we had car ferries and passenger ferries that used to serve the North Shore suburbs of Northcote, Birkenhead and Devonport as well. So this is tram stop number 4. On the other side of the road by the gantry, there's the children's playground, and of course the gantry gives you a great view of the West Haven Marina. Remember, your ticket is an all-day ticket. You can hop on, hop off through till 4 o'clock. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon. Well, continuing on our journey, remember this is a hop-on, hop-off ride. If there's something that we tell you about that you want to check out, you jump off the tram and you're more than welcome to catch us on the next trip round. We keep running constantly round the block until 4 o'clock. Junico Streets here is where all the restaurants and cafes are. There's almost every type of cuisine served here in the restaurants. Lots of different types of food and styles of restaurant. The tram you're riding in was built in Melbourne in 1926. When we got this tramway open, MOTAT didn't have any trams to spare, so we brought 2 trams from Melbourne. This one, as I said, built in 1926 and painted up in the colours worn by Auckland Trams in the 1930s. The wharf shed here on the left was also built in 1926. It's the last surviving wharf shed and now home to the Wynyard Pavilion, a great little bar and restaurant. Don't forget, on a hot day like this, Gelatiamo on the left here, famous for beautiful gelato ice cream. As we turn the corner into Halsey Street, on our left is Karanga Plaza, also the America's Cup Village. You can walk over the lifting bridge to the Maritime Museum, the ferry building, and downtown Auckland, which is a walk of about 15 to 20 minutes. And on our left, the beautifully newly opened Park Hyatt Hotel with more stars than Hollywood itself. This is tram stop number 1.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, heaps.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, buddy. Come again. Our pal bill's worse than yours. Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really good try. There's a lot of that. And the guys, I've got a couple for pension years. Guys and Kate with me. And the drivers, there was something.
Well, all the streets in the main streets anyway in Wynyard Quarter are named after notable sea admirals. This street is Halsey Street, named after Admiral Halsey, whose claim to fame was to the fact that he commanded a battleship during the First World War called HMS New Zealand. And his particular claim was that despite all the battles they fought on HMS New Zealand during the First World War, he never sustained serious damage to his ship, and neither did he lose a single member of his crew. Viaduct Harbour on the left, and the Viaduct Harbour apartments here too. What they call a heritage walk, and there are plaques there which give you a little bit of a history of what was in fact the sea edge along there that parallels Fanshawe Street, and the little plaques tell you the various businesses and industry and the lighters that used to go in and out of this part of the inner harbour. And right over the other side of those trees, Victoria Park, and on the other side of Victoria Park, Victoria Street. And what you may not know is back in the early 1900s, Victoria Street was the seashore. All of this land we're on now was reclaimed from the sea during the early teen years and into the 20s. This is tram stop number 2. We're in Gaunt Street. And on our left is the head offices for Fonterra, the big dairy organisation. That building was constructed between 2012 and 2014, 2015, and what you may not know is they had to go down some 30 metres to find solid rock to form the foundations of the building. Thanks heaps, thank you. Thank you. Welcome, thank you. And on the right, the city bus depot was originally the site of our main tram depot here in Auckland. The Gaunt Street tram depot housed 100 of the city's 256 trams. The rest of the tram fleet was housed out at the Epsom depot. We lost electric trams in Auckland in 1956, but again, if you pop out to MOTAT, you can ride Auckland's first and Auckland's last tram, which are regularly in service on the MOTAT tramway. Street. He's again another notable sea admiral, William C. Goldie, who now has a tugboat named after him, and the William C. Goldie is our preserved steam tug, the last surviving steam tug, and it's owned by a charitable trust. And the charitable trust often takes the William C. Goldie out into the harbour from time to time. This is tram stop number 3. Interested in boating, literally a car park building for boats. They have amazing racking system in there, an amazing lifting system that lifts your boat out of the water, puts it up onto the rack, and when you want the boat back again, you simply ring them up and they have your boat lowered down in the water ready for you. It really is quite an amazing thing to go and have a look through the windows and see all those boats all stacked up like a warehouse. And on the left is our tram shed where our 2 trams are stabled overnight. The tickets on the side of the building are of course tram penny section tickets, when we used to be a penny a section to ride a tram in Auckland. 6 pennies or 6 pence or 6 sections was all the way out to Onehunga. There's our second tram, number 881, built in the 40s, and like this tram, also painted in the colours worn by Auckland Trams in the 1930s. On the left, the next stage of apartment development. Residents now about to move into this apartment building. The steel cylinder drum you can see just between the trees here, slightly to the left, that's a water feature. And there's all sorts of ways for particularly the young ones to learn how to pump water. There's an Archimedes screw there. You can see the young boy there turning the handle. And it's a great learning thing for them to understand about turning the handle to pump water. The big steel frame gantry gives you a great view of West Haven. And if you've seen the Harbour Bridge lit up at night, in this concrete building here with the mural on the side, there are a huge bank of batteries. They're charged up by solar panels on the roofs of the restaurants, so that there's
Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Yeah, you should have purified.